welcome to Uprising 144K. I'm Hydrogen Man. Today, because of popular demand again, I'm gonna make a video about, in my opinion, what is the best hydrogen machine in the world. And obviously, I think it's a 2018 Lourdes Hydrofix. I made a huge list as to why that is, so I'm gonna share some of these points with you guys. So the first reason I really like this machine is because it's all made in Japan, super high quality, they spare no expense on this, and the Japanese know hydrogen better than anybody else. I mean, I get emails all the time. People are always asking me, so what's the best hydrogen machine? What about this one? What about this one? I get emails all the time. And to be honest, I end up spending a lot of time researching these other machines for other people. But in the end, I've already researched a lot of these machines and they're not made differently. They just keep doing the same thing, like electrolyzing the water. And the thing is that the US is so far behind on this technology. This is a very new technology. This is a 2018 model. So this is like brand new. And this is something that the Japanese have really been working hard on. There was actually a guy who was part of this project. He was so adamant about making the best machine because his daughter's actually ill. And he had great benefits from using not just hydrogen water for her, but the hydrogen inhalation option, which is one of the other reasons that makes this machine the best in the world, because this machine will make both the water and the best water you can get. I mean, it's got full saturation of hydrogen, and it's got tiny little nano bubbles. This is exactly the way you want to make the hydrogen water, because of course the water will last longer. That's one thing that nobody can match this new machine. The hydrogen will not stay in the water longer in any other machine than this one. This is number one. It's gonna hold the hydrogen in there for a long time. That's one really important key point. Of course, the kind of hydrogen it's making is also of super high quality. They completely changed the filter and they had to re-engineer the whole machine because of this. They made an H-type filter, a DI filter. They did this because it was the only way for them to be able to not only make a higher grade of hydrogen water, but also to bring in the inhalation option. If you guys want to see how that works, check out my other videos. I've shown how to do the inhalation on it. But the inhalation option was super important to this gentleman working on this project because his daughter had lung issues. She was really sick, had really great benefit from breathing in the hydrogen gas, and so that's why he wanted that option on this unit. And just so you know, when you breathe in the hydrogen gas from this 2018 Lourdes Hydrofix, every minute is like drinking 26 liters of hydrogen water. So every 30 minutes, you're supposed to do a 30-minute session. You could do an hour if you want, but like a 30-minute session is equivalent to drinking like over 200 gallons of hydrogen water. So it's nuts, the amount of hydrogen you can get in here. So let's see. One of the other things I also really liked about this machine is the pure grade titanium that they used. See, the big problem with all these other machines is that they're all electrolyzing the water. I get people sending me all the time, what do you think about this machine? And I think that the machine is saying it's done. And so they're always asking me, what about this machine? And when I check it, I'm like, look, it's got electrolyzed water. The moment your water is electrolyzed, just forget it, guys. It's not the ultimate way to do it. Especially when you're electrolyzing water and you don't have super high grade metal, it's gonna leach into your water, which can have a toxic effect on your body. The whole point we're doing this is to improve our health, not to put it at risk. So I know that this machine is more expensive than a lot of the other machines, because that's what the comment that people are always asking me about. They're like, well, what's the cheapest best machine? Unfortunately, there is no cheap good machine. You either get something that's good, or in my opinion, you just don't do it, because otherwise it can be detrimental to your health. So this uses a super high grade, it's like pure grade titanium, the kind of stuff they put in like pacemakers and stents and implants in your jaw. The super high medical grade stuff is what they use in this machine, even though it was more expensive and even though it was really hard to work with. The Japanese who did this wanted to do it honorably. They wanted to do it the right way. It wasn't just about the making money and a business. This was about making the best hydrogen machine in the world, and they sure have, at least in my opinion. And I mean, you gotta remember this too. The Japanese are way ahead of the game. America's way behind, which is why a lot of the machines here, you don't even see them in Japan. Because in Japan, they know that they don't want a lot of these machines. They're just kind of garbage. They're not good. But in Japan, they know what the best is. And they actually have clinics in Japan, and guess what? This is what the clinics are using now. It's almost like you have something in your home that is basically like medical grade, you know? You have your own personal machine that can do so much. It's really pretty exciting that you can actually get one of these. I know it seems expensive to people also, and yes, it even seemed expensive to me also, but for what it does for you, I mean, one of these pictures has like the antioxidative power of, I think it's like 1,500 apples or something crazy like that. And it's not just any type of antioxidant, it's the most permeable antioxidant. They can go past the blood-brain barrier. It's not only the most permeable and the most powerful, and they're also making it really, really clean, and it's also a selective antioxidant. I mean, it's just nuts what this machine really does for our health. So to put a price tag on it, I'm just thankful that they're available. Because if these people were not so adamant in Japan about building the best machine, we wouldn't even have access to it. So that's one thing that I'm already grateful for. And for under 2,000 bucks to be able to do that, it's incredible. It's really amazing. So I'm actually really thankful to those people who chose to do it the right way. And so let's see here. What other reasons do I think that this machine is the best one in the world? I had to write all this down because there's so much. Obviously, the latest in engineering from Japan and the latest in technology when it comes to hydrogen. You have to remember, this water is not electrolyzed. No other machine that I really know of does that except for the old Lourdes, but they really stepped it up with the new one in many ways. Again, the new filter to make a higher grade of hydrogen. It makes more hydrogen in the water, so it's higher levels of hydrogen as compared to the old Lourdes. And again, in Japan, they know that this is the best machine there is, which is, again, why they're using it for clinics. But they made it super easy to use, too. That's the thing I really liked. It's not complex. All they wanted to do was hit all the important points. They knew that they wanted full saturation in the water. And usually here, right now it's on standby. I'm going to shut it off because if I wanted to run this and get full saturation, I just push the button once. That's it. I mean, that's how simple it is. And it's going to tell you, hey, 30 minutes until you have full saturation of hydrogen in the machine. And if the machine is off for whatever reason, if you just want to go to standby mode, you just hold the button like I just did, and then it goes to standby mode. So it's just very, very easy to use. And another really cool thing is that it's super reliable, and it's not only easy to use and reliable, but it's cheap to make the hydrogen water. I mean, here's the crazy thing. I've had actually people contact me. This was years ago, but there was like a doctor who actually had contacted me, and he was talking to me about the water because he was buying the water. He was spending something like $500 to $600 a month for hydrogen water for him and his wife. And he knew the importance of hydrogen water, being a doctor who was up to date on all the latest technology when it comes to health. Well, here's the thing that he realized. When he started breaking it down, he realized it's so much cheaper to buy a high quality machine and just make tons of hydrogen water. Maybe I should open up my own little like lemonade stand, my little hydrogen stand, and I'll be selling water to try to pay off my machine or something. I don't know. But the point is that this is so cheap. You can make so much hydrogen water for so many years, and it's gonna just be pennies because once you have the machine, it's super cheap to run this machine. The only thing you have to maintain is this filter in it, which is this little guy right here. And these filters last like a year or more. You have to check the owner's manual for the exact amount of time, but they last a long time and they're under 50 bucks. So it's the cheapest way really to make the hydrogen water. All right, let's see what other reasons I love this machine for. All right, so here's another really cool tidbit. The water that it's making, there is no hydrogen machine out there where the hydrogen's gonna stay in the water as long as it does in this machine. It's not pressurizing it, and so it's truly dissolving tiny little nanobubbles. It makes the water last longer. So no, you won't be able to carry the hydrogen water around with you from any other machine unless you're making it on the go. The other problem is, look, if there was a machine out there that was a portable hydrogen machine, would I get it? If it's good, yes, I totally would. I really would like to have a portable hydrogen machine. But I've done the research. There is none out there that are any good, unfortunately. I mean, this has a special technology, the separate chamber technology. Some people call it dual chamber, but a lot of people are using that term now. And they're not truly dual chamber because there isn't two chambers like this has. In this one, you put water over here, and then you have the other water that's here in the pitcher. So it's separate chamber technology, and that's important because it won't electrolyze the water. Where the other companies that I've seen where they're claiming dual chamber, they're electrolyzing the water. It's not true dual chamber. You do not want electrolyzed water. I've explained it in my other videos why. The possible negative effects from the ions, and of course there's more risk of leaching metals into the water when you're doing the electrolysis in that way. And of course with lower grade metals, it makes it even more risky. It's just not the way to go. This is the best way to go. This is why it's the best hydrogen machine in the world. All right, let's see what else here. Okay, so obviously the water is not electrolyzed. What's really cool is when you do not electrolyze the water, it won't affect the pH. This is really important too. You know when they always say, oh, alkaline water, alkaline water. When you electrolyze water and turn it into hydrogen water, it affects the pH, but not with this machine. Again, the reason I think it is the best in the world. It's not one of the best, it is the best in the world. It doesn't electrolyze the water. It won't affect the pH of the water you put in there. That's actually a good thing. And then the way that it makes negative ORP is also very unique, because it will make a number between negative 500 to negative 700 ORP. This is really important too, because there's actually manipulated ORP scores out there, guys. Be really careful, because they can manipulate it with certain ions. They can manipulate it with certain chemicals that are in the water. There's all sorts of ways to manipulate the negative ORP. So you can't just get a negative ORP stick and put it in there and say, hey, look, it's negative 700. But this machine, the negative 700 or negative 500, whatever it makes, depending on the water you use, is true negative ORP from only the dissolved hydrogen. So that's a really big deal. That's like medical grade stuff. That's what you want. That's why they use it in the clinics in Japan. And here we go. The other cool thing about this machine that I've always loved is that you can use RO water or distilled water in the unit. A lot of units that you have to plug into your tap water, you can't use any kind of water you want. This one, you can use any kind of water you want. And since they upgraded the unit, you can even put distilled water in the other chamber. So that's really cool too, because I enjoy doing that sometimes too. Way less restrictions with this machine. The old Lourdes, which I always loved, but they really upgraded it big time here. The other one was very tedious about the water that you could put in the chamber, and the range of TDS, or total dissolved solids, in the water was very tedious. This one has a much broader range. It can be from like 0 to, I don't remember the number, like 500 or 700, I don't remember, but it's a wide range. You can use RO water, you can use distilled water. That's the reason it's the best hydrogen machine in the world. I mean, geez, there's so many points, which is why I had to write them down. Even the pitcher, this was important too. A lot of people ask me, well, why didn't they make it out of glass? You know what's crazy? I actually found some research that like glass coming from China is actually toxic to the water. There's stuff in the glass. So just because it's glass doesn't mean it's completely safe. The Japanese used the plastic for many reasons, but what they chose to do is they used the highest grade plastic they could. Obviously it's BPA free, but it's way beyond that. It's actually what they use for baby bottles in Japan. And I'll tell you something, that means a lot, because the Japanese care a lot about their children. They want to feed them the best foods. They certainly don't want to give them toxic baby bottles. They really care about the kids over there. And so using that grade of plastic, and you can feel the difference. I felt the difference in this pitcher compared to the old Lourdes. This one certainly is better. You can definitely tell. So that's one of the other things that makes this machine really, really great. All right, so yes, I already talked about the DI filter, and the grade of hydrogen obviously again is really, really good, and it's really important because when you do the breathing option, you need the highest grade of hydrogen. You can't have any other gases in there in order for it to be safe. The old Lourdes did have some other traces of other gases. That's why you couldn't have the breathing option. That's why they fixed it on this one, so you could. All right, let's see here. Also, this new filter that I really like, this H-type DI filter, it was also designed not just to make a higher grade of hydrogen, but they designed it so that you wouldn't have as much buildup on the plates. So that is actually really important because they were thinking about reliability in mind. I love that. I love that the Japanese thought about this. They're not just thinking, let's just make it and sell it. You know, they actually like, no, okay, what can we do so that it won't get as much buildup, so that it's cheap to maintain and reliable and run for many years and make tons of hydrogen water. So that was really cool. So that's something that's going to extend the life, is this new filter. All right, they also use the highest grade membrane there is. Of course, it has the SPE-PEM technology, but they use a super high grade membrane, so you don't have to worry about, for example, damaging it when you're doing a citric acid cleaning. So this is designed to do that cleaning. I have other videos on how to clean it. You can watch that. But again, another upgrade. They really thought of everything when they did this best machine. All right, let's see here. Obviously, when they re-engineered it, they wanted to hit all the important points for therapeutic use. They didn't make the machine make like 0.5 ppm of hydrogen water. They knew it needed to make 1.0 ppm to 1.5 or 1.6 ppm. That's the range. They knew that, which is even why the little meter here will say, you know, roughly 0.8 to 1.2, but it actually goes higher than that. You know, they wanted to under-promise but over-deliver. I always like that too. So they over-delivered, and they really just went all out, and it makes all the therapeutic levels that you would need in the water, and the hydrogen gas is also very therapeutic. So let's see, what else did they do to this machine? They did everything. Obviously, they re-engineered it. It's very reliable. And again, you know, unfortunately, I really wish there was a good portable machine. Of course, I really wish there was, but there just isn't. So this really is the best in the world right now. If there ever is a better machine than this or a really good portable machine, I will make a video about it. You guys will know about it. So go ahead and subscribe so that way when I make those videos, you guys will get the alerts and get the latest info, because I'm up to date on the hydrogen all the time. I'm actually in love with hydrogen. I love hydrogen. I love what it does for us. I love that it's non-toxic. I think it's the most amazing thing because I've been on juicing and I'm vegan and eating all the organic foods and trying to treat my body the absolute best and making really, really clean water when I would filter it and then I would distill it and then I would mineralize it. And I did all these things, but I'll tell you something. Nothing took my health to the next level until I implemented hydrogen water into my life. And especially even this new machine, because I've been using this new machine now after the old Lourdes, and this one, I can feel it. This one's even better. And I think that breathing the hydrogen has really taken up my health a notch. I've been getting really strong lately and it feels so good because I really haven't felt that way in a long time. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with hydrogen, guys. And so hopefully you will be too someday if you try to use it and it really improves your life, which is why I make these videos, because I really want everybody to be healthy and happy so that the world can be a better place, you know? And so anyway, let's go back to why this is the best hydrogen machine in the world. All right, so I think the cheap maintenance on it, that's something that I really love on this machine. All you really need is really high quality citric acid and a filter every year or so. And that's all you really need to maintain this machine for many years. So it's super cheap. I love that. And obviously just the way that that it just makes the water, again, non-electrolyzed, nano bubbles. It makes the best type of water. And I see, you know, companies these days trying to sell water. I mean, hydrogen water in these cans. I just started laughing at myself because they just don't get it. You're not going to be able to contain hydrogen in a can by putting it in a truck, moving it around, having it at the store. By the time somebody gets it, I mean, you're not really going to get the therapeutic levels of hydrogen that you want. There really is only one way to do that, and that is to make it yourself. So it just shows how behind America is on understanding hydrogen and why I feel compelled to have to make these videos and educate everybody so that they can get the true results, because I would hate for somebody to drink something like hydrogen water that is made the incorrect way or from the store. They get no real benefit from it and they're like, oh, hydrogen water just sucks. It's like, no, that's not true. It's just that you have to do it the correct way. So anyway, guys, I really hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope that now you know what is the best hydrogen machine in the world. So if you guys want to do research and look for other stuff, go for it. But I'm telling you, I've spent a long time, countless hours researching other machines that people send to me and researching all the machines in Japan. And I'm telling you, you're not going to find anything better. So if you want the easy route, this is the easy route. And if you want to do your own research, go for it, guys. But you're not going to find anything better than this. This is the best hydrogen machine in the world. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video and give it a thumbs up just because it makes me feel good. And all right, guys, it was good to see you again. And we'll see you next time on the next video.
Uprising of the spirits.
Being put through now.
Oh, can you hear it? It's the children who come to mind.